Making your monthly child support payment $2,576.
That's how much you gotta pay.
No, that's how much you gotta pay. What happened to the celebration? Because you're the one that's paying that $2,576. He should not pay you any.
Honestly, the situation speaks for itself. Her attitude seemed to shift almost instantly the moment she realized the financial outcome wasn't going in her favor, making the contrast hard to ignore. Whether that change was motivated by money is something viewers can judge for themselves, but it certainly raised plenty of questions. With that said, today's video features some of the most emotional and unforgettable divorce moments. So stick around because you won't want to miss a single clip.
Okay, Mrs. Harper, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I basically want to leave with the children. And, you know, he makes a lot of money. Our business makes a lot of money. But when I leave, I'm not going to have that. So I need to keep the lifestyle that my children and I have had. They go to private school, and we have a nanny. And so I need to continue that so that their lives aren't disturbed. And we live in a house, $500,000, and I need to maintain something similar so that it's not a big adjustment for any of us.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. Private school, do you all pay tuition for that?
Yes.
Okay. How much is it? If you were to break it down monthly, because I know tuition sometimes isn't a monthly thing.
It's about $1,800 a month.
$1,800. What kind of private school is it?
It's a good private school.
Oh my gosh. They teaching the baby how to drive?
Well, the baby's not there yet, but he will.
Well,
be.
the 2-year-old, right?
Well,
that's still a baby for $1,800.
It's a tuitional. I mean, you grow with the school, so.
Does the tuition payment grow too?
No.
Oh, okay. So it stays at $1,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they're accepted, they're accepted.
Okay, I follow you now. So if we were to break that down monthly, that's about $150 a month. What about the nanny? How much does she cost monthly?
I mean, he pays most of the bills, so he can probably answer that better.
Okay. Have you already started looking at other homes, other apartments, or anything like that?
Yeah, you know, there's a couple other homes in the neighborhood that I'd really like to move into. I think that would be the least disruptive to me and to the kids.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
would you be renting out those homes?
Basically, I would like to buy one.
Okay.
So that we can maintain the same lifestyle that we've had.
Okay. If you were to buy a home, the homes that you were looking at, what are you looking at on mortgage?
About $3,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, I mean, I would think he would need to pay the majority of that.
Okay. So you want him to buy you a home? You and the children a home?
I mean, I would call it spousal support. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about any other bills that you would potentially have to pay?
So, you know, I think he should keep paying for the nanny and the private school.
Okay.
And you know, I have been only working part-time, and of course, I would not want to keep working in the business with him and these customers who are still coming around.
I had developed this business long before we got married.
Okay.
And we've been married a couple of years, and I've worked hard to get this business to where it is.
Oh, well, this is what I am going to do. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that because, ma'am, you will be working and you should be able to maintain something. I'm not gonna have him just 100% take care of you. Spousal maintenance is to assist. It's not to help you just live off of him.
Just listening to the way she's describing the situation says a lot. She keeps emphasizing that she wants to own a house and feels she needs one. But those preferences don't necessarily determine a child's quality of life. Even if the living arrangement changes and the family moves into an apartment, that alone doesn't automatically mean the child's well-being or daily routine will be significantly affected.
I got dumped because I asked a man to pay for everything. He ran. He literally ran away after I said that. That one comment made him throw everything away. Do you guys think that I was in the wrong? I think if you really like someone, you're not gonna dump them over one comment. And I really liked him, so I was begging for him back. I still was begging for him back. And he said that it already put a sour taste in his mouth and that he doesn't want.
When one person expects their partner to cover every expense while treating their own income as completely separate, it's easy to see why that could create frustration. A relationship works best when both people feel they're contributing in a way that seems fair and respectful. If the financial dynamic starts to feel one-sided, it's understandable that the other person may begin to feel undervalued or taken for granted.
So y'all, please help me understand this. My lights got turned off, so I called my baby's father and asked him if he could get my lights turned on for me. He said no, because I have a husband and that's his responsibility. How is that his responsibility to pay my lights to get turned back on after they get turned off?
Because he's your husband. That's why it's his responsibility to make sure the bills are paid in the house. It's actually both of y'all responsibility. And no, that do not fall on your baby daddy, especially if you have a husband. But here's a better idea. Instead of you trying to gaslight him and play victim and tell him that it's his job to pay your bills because his children live there, just give him his children until your situation change or get better. But no, you can never do that. You could never put your children first and give them to the parent who's doing better right now. No, instead you're going to play victim and try to play mind games and use that man for his money to pay your bills and say, oh, but your children live here. Well, let my children come live with me until your circumstances.
The obvious question many people would have is why she's turning to the father of her child for financial help instead of relying on her current household's finances. From what's being presented, she's seeking financial support from someone who is no longer involved in her day-to-day life, which naturally raises questions about the circumstances and why that responsibility is being placed on someone outside of her current relationship.
May have dumped me, but look at me now and you can't ever have it again. Tony, what do you think of that?
Well, I broke up with her because all I did was give 100% for nothing in return.
Tony, do you have any regrets seeing that you look so great today?
She looked the same as when I left her.
From the way things played out, it doesn't seem like he's had any second thoughts about ending the relationship, and nothing here suggests he's looking back with regret. Music. Honestly, if someone just wants a place to vent and let their emotions out, there are plenty of ways to do that without spending a fortune. You can do the same thing at home or with supportive friends instead of paying thousands of dollars just to shout into a pillow .6. When you choose to record a video like this and share it publicly with friends and a wider audience, it's difficult to be surprised if it has serious consequences for your relationship. Public posts can have a lasting impact on trust and how a partner feels about the situation. Then following it up with another public video only adds more attention to the issue, making the fallout even harder to avoid.
To be independent, I don't need a man, I can do this all on my own.
A few moments later.
I just found out today that my ex-husband is engaged and I'm unwell. And like, even though, yes, it was me that was like, hi, I want divorce. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. It brings up all these feelings. It brings up all this like stuff. And we have a kid and it brings up all this stuff.
From my perspective, the warning sign seemed obvious from the very beginning. If someone's primary focus is your income, monthly spending, the clothes you wear, or the car you drive, it's reasonable to question what they're truly valuing in a relationship. When financial status consistently takes center stage over character, trust, and compatibility, It's understandable why people might wonder whether the connection is being driven more by material interest than genuine commitment.
Those women that care and watch how much money you spend and how much money you spending on them, they don't like you. Because a woman that likes you don't want you to spend all your money. Because she's mindful of the union and the partnership that y'all are building. Like women that are like, oh, I need to get my hair and my nails done. Why is your hair and your nails not already done?
So, looking at the situation, there were several other options available. You could have applied for a credit card, taken out a small loan, or even asked a trusted friend or family member for temporary financial help. Instead, you chose to turn to your former partner. And that's a decision that naturally raises the biggest questions, especially when there were other possible alternatives.
I couldn't afford to get this girl's car fixed, so she asked her ex-boyfriend and he helped her. Listen.
This right here, this is what women mean when they say, don't worry about it. If we've come to you as your woman and say to you, hey baby, I need you to help me with this, and you tell me no, flat out.
Okay, so from my understanding, there was a woman that needed her car fixed, and she asked her boyfriend, and he said he didn't have it. He didn't tell her no, he said he didn't have it. But this woman says that this is what we mean when we tell you not to worry about it. So this is what I be telling y'all, that they be having these dudes and these friends and these exes on the back burner in the background of your relationship in case they need to fall back, or in case they need to ask him something, in case they need to keep that door of communication open.
Right.
So, and this lady talks about him telling her flat out, no, that's not what happened though. He said he didn't have it. So what about them strategizing together on how to come up with it? How about getting a loan? How about doing something different than you going to your ex-boyfriend about it? If you can ask your ex-boyfriend, couldn't you ask a friend or a family member? Couldn't you go out and get the money on a loan or something of that nature? Why do y'all feel like it's okay to revert back to your...
This clip really highlights how people's behavior can change after someone becomes successful or well-known. In this case, Kai Cenat has grown into one of the biggest names in streaming, and situations like this can understandably feel disappointing. Receiving messages or calls that seem to appear only after success can leave anyone questioning the intentions behind them.
The last time you texted me was in 2020.
Because I've been busy. Why you being weird?
What? I'm chilling.
How are you? How you been?
Nah, I've been good. What made you call me out of nowhere?
I just wanted to call you. I can't call you now.
Nah, I'm up now.
The way she spoke in that first clip was genuinely difficult to understand. She described her situation as if she had nothing left, yet she also had children, something many people deeply cherish and consider one of life's greatest blessings. For countless parents, raising their children with love and care becomes their highest priority. So hearing those comments can understandably leave many viewers questioning her perspective. Point 11.
You want to become a miserable old woman. I don't think any of us do. You've seen those women out there. The women that are nattering and nagging their husbands, that are bitchy, that aren't nice, that seem to be so unhappy, and we think, oh God, I hope I'm never one of those miserable old women. That happens from raising a family, working, and then all of a sudden we're in our 50s and 60s and we have nothing. We don't have a life. We don't have a life separate from our family or separate from our husband. And so we resent everybody. I did it. Here I am. It's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me. I don't know, things aren't going out great. I didn't know. I guess I did know. I would have this really strong reaction physically, trauma reaction, to finding out that my estranged husband has been having...
All right, let's look at the numbers for a second. If you're earning around $180,000 a year, many people would naturally wonder why you're also asking your husband for an additional $3,000. At that income level, most would expect someone to be able to cover their expenses while still planning for the future. So it's easy to see why the request raises questions. But don't go anywhere, because the final clip is easily the most unbelievable one in today's video. I definitely saved the best for last.
How much money do you make?
$180K a year.
$180K a year.
Yeah.
How much of that $180,000 are you giving dad?
They love their mother dearly because I'm there for them. What memories are you you making with them? Do they
Okay,
tell you
hold
how
on,
they
hold
act
on.
at the
Let me-
park?
hold on.
They love the park.
Here's the memory we're getting ready to make because I made my ruling. You have capped out, according to Texas guidelines, your gross is $9,200 a month. Child support is set at $2,300. You're gonna do a reimbursement to Medicaid for $276, making your monthly child support payment $2,576.
That's how much you gotta pay.
No, that's how much you gotta pay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The children live with him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't see the celebration.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What happened to the celebration? Because you're the one that's paying that $2,576. The children live with him. He should not pay you anything. Did you have any questions about that number?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Looking back, it seems there were several important consequences that may not have been fully considered before the decision to end the marriage. As these stories often show, the idea that everything will automatically be better afterward doesn't always match reality, and every major decision comes with trade-offs that only become clear over time. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I made the extremely tough decision to leave my husband last year after being with him for 21 years. We were married for 8 years. And my ex-husband is not a bad guy, wonderful father. But there were some things that would send people into orbit when I would tell them things. Like, number one, and I'm not exaggerating, my ex-husband did not tell me that he loved me. That sends people into outer space when I tell them that. That was something that I accepted, we'll call it accepted, but now I see it as settling. I had accepted this about him, but what ended up happening is years and years and years of what I will consider emotional neglect, unintentionally. I began to resent him, and there's a few videos that I want to make of things that I've learned, especially with us coming up on 1 year divorced, and what I learned about divorcing the good guy and what a villain that makes you, how hard it is on your kids. I just want this to reach someone going through the same thing or thinking about divorcing the good guy. And if you have questions, if you have concerns that you have for yourself or your kids, drop it in the comments. I'd love for somebody to ask me something because I feel like my story can help somebody.
All of these women say the same thing. You know what? I'm on the internet and I'm doing this because I feel like my story can help somebody else. Well, here's my question. Did this create a better or a worse environment for your children? Because I didn't even know that you had children until you just mentioned it. Do you feel as though this is going to hurt and ruin the reputation of so-called quote unquote good guy, because everybody knows somebody that knows who you're talking about or who you're talking to when you decide to throw him under the bus on the internet? And then last but not least, do you think after a year of being divorced, and I'm assuming that you've probably tried to jump on an app or try to talk to somebody else, do you believe that you've actually had or made a smart decision because you were emotionally in a bad space because you started to resent him? Because for men, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't say I love you, but I could think of 10,000 worse things. And a lot of times for men, the way that we show that we love you is through our actions, not necessarily through our words. The words are the reinforcing of you bearing good fruit. Those would be my questions to this woman.